Today we finally get rid of the gremlins in the BLT cave, unlock rocketless flight, open our brand new BLT shop, and during our latest expedition, we discover something strange buried beneath the wasteland. We're one step closer to going on our very first expedition, because in the previous episode, we completed the BLT cave. A cave which in my opinion looks really good, but apparently the BLT cave still had a few problems, because we had packages not getting delivered, flour not turning into wheat balls, and factory gauge setups that need a little bit of tweaking. But thankfully, a lot of you left so many good comments about how I can improve, fix, and well, better this year BLT cave. Thus, we're going to listen to those comments and see if we can improve this BLT cave, because I really don't want to have anything happen in this cave that could lead to a disaster. And the first thing will be to rip out all of this and replace them with these little contraptions that replace the standard vanilla crafter and allows us to craft the BLT sandwiches at a little bit of a faster pace. Next suggestion was to name this little guy BLT main and then remove the names off of these two, but rather put down signs over here that says BLT main, and the same on this side, BLT main. And that way the system will know that these two packages have to go to that storage system. We then have to go ahead and give these two their names again of BLT1 and BLT2, because they are two processing frogs. On the factory gauge board, we were advised to remove the promises on both of these, thus resulting in a factory that should work a whole lot better. And how do we find out if it does? Well, we test it. So we're going to come over here and we're going to change these amounts to 35 and 35. And that should request items to come from our main vault into this area. They will get processed, and every 10 seconds a pulse will package them up and send them over to this here vault. You'll also notice we don't have any more of the vegetables in here, and that's all due to the correct naming of things and Gaston again spinning right round. But now we should have all of that sorted out. Well, I'm definitely happy that we could solve this entire problem. And oh wait, there was another suggestion. The suggestion was that once we fill up this dough vault and we have extra dough, we should totally use that to craft ourselves some slime balls. So that is something that we can work on optimizing and creating in one of our future episodes. So now that we have enough food, we're almost ready for that expedition. But there's one more thing. You see, a settlement like this and an expedition the size of the one we're going to be tackling needs funding. And to get some funding, I think we should sell some of our extra BLT sandwiches over in the shopping area. So I think it's time for us to head on over, find the spot, and see if we can't clear it out and get it ready for the shop that we want to build in that area. Because I'm 100% certain I'm not the only one that likes a good BLT sandwich. So now that we have all the bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches, we can finally set up a little area that we can turn into a shop. And I like this place. I like this little seafront spot right over here. It's next to this amazing little pier done by Azu himself. And I'm thinking right here, we're gonna have like a little textured floor. We can maybe have something that pokes out a little bit over the water. And then we can even think about getting access to this area from this side, but also access to that area from via this area like this, and then we can do some form of road connecting to this area. So yeah, this is the spot, and I think what we need to do is we need to quickly sort out this area by just changing up the landscape and getting it ready for a shop so we can open a shop. So enjoy. Well, I think this area came together pretty nicely. The texturing's good, the little pier overlooking the ocean, not too bad, and then a really big open space for us to build the shop. And I've got a little bit of idea what I want to do with it, but to do that, I'm gonna have to go back to base, grab a bunch of resources, and then we will get to building it. But there's something else I need to discuss, and first of all, I did take a little break after building this, and this is new. It looks like someone straightened out the line, which I am pretty grateful for. But that's not the issue. So the issue I have is the fact that I've got an elytra, but I don't have rockets, which means I'm coming over here to Foxy's gondola service, and I've been buying single rider passes, which is 2 diamonds every time. It's not a lot if you do it once, but I've been doing it back and forth the whole time. I think we need to invest in jetpack, because now, as things go, it's me taking out the diamonds, grabbing my ticket, paying for my ticket, getting my ticket, going on this ride, getting in, and well, I guess just enjoying it. Okay, so we're back here at base, and it's time for us to craft that jetpack, but I was thinking maybe we should go from the normal brass jetpack, which is a stock standard recipe that we can craft, to a netherite jetpack, which just gives us a little bit more armor, same amount of fuel and water it can hold. So that's the thing. So I think we're going to do netherite, and to do netherite we need to go do some nether based mining. So we're going to have to go grab the drill, head to the nether, farm up some ancient debris so we can make at least 1 ingot that we can use to upgrade our jetpack. So yeah, enjoy me trying to survive the nether and finding some ancient debris. Overall, not a bad trip to the nether at all. We ended up with an inventory filled with nuggets. We've got some unfortunate ore over here, including gold and nether quartz. We've got some quartz, and we've got 39 pieces of ancient debris. So what we can do with this, well, we can chuck all of these into the smelter, let them smelt, and while those smelt, we can just take the little nuggets we got and turn all of them into gold, because we're going to need some gold to craft our ancient debris, and that's quite a hefty amount. And now we should get our scrap, which is perfect, and it's 4 to 4, I do believe, and we can make a total of 9 netherite ingots. So we've got the ingots, but we can't apply them to a jetpack yet because we still need to craft the jetpack. And the jetpack recipe, it's this one over here. So 3 cogs, 4 brass, 2 tanks, 1 elytra, and 2 encased fans, and a blaze burner. And we should have all of those. So let's see if we can quickly get this thing crafted. Okay, it's time to craft this jetpack. So we're going to start with 3 cogs in that position. We're going to add 4 brass like this. We're going to have 2 tanks over here, a blaze burner at the bottom, elytra in the middle, 2 fans on the side, and if we were to push this button, we get ourselves a jetpack. So now we officially have the jetpack, and all we need to do now is upgrade it to a netherite real quick, and also get 2 tanks, 1 filled with water and 1 filled with lava, and we're ready to take to the sky. So first we're going to apply the netherite ingot to it, and we're just going to do that. So we need to make tanks, and before we can make tanks, we need to buy some of this, I do believe. And now we can go ahead and craft our tanks. So the first one will be for water, and we're just going to craft that. And then that we're going to surround with copper, and we're just going to do that a few times until we have it at the biggest size. And the next one is a steady tank, which is another tank, and we're just going to surround it with small fuel tank, and we're going to do that. Craft ourselves a big one, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 of each. And there we go. We've got 4 tanks, and now all that's left is to refill them. So we're down here in the nether, and we need to fill up this tank with lava. And the reason why I'm doing it over here is because I tried using the refills service in Foxy's shop, but for some reason it's telling me not enough money or gold or empty tank or whatever. So I'm not sure if I first need to use it at least once before it works. So that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to fill it up, I'm going to use all of these, and then we can see if that's a problem. That's as soon as I stop burning. Okay, but there we have it. We've got ourselves a water tank, we've got ourselves a lava tank, and if I were to chuck this in here. These are 2 extra ones, and chuck my netherite backpack on. We can see it's charging, which is great, and our spare wings we can just throw in there. And now it should be as simple as just flying. Oh, that is fantastic. Okay, I'm so glad we did this. Now we do have ourselves a little jetpack, and I am not really sure how high we can go. It seems like we can go pretty high, but this is going to make traveling so much easier. Okay, perfect. Now that we have this, we can go back to the shopping area and finally get building on that shop that we planned earlier. So we're over here at the location of the new shop, and I am ready and pretty excited about this build. I want to keep it true to the whole archaeology theme. So what I do think I'm going to do is I'm going to do some kind of funky mechanical contraption, not too big, which is basically going to be our storage and the point of sale. And then I want to expand it out in maybe a quarter. Yeah, I think so. Not a full circle, not a half circle, but a quarter circle, that is. So we have like a canopy coming out this way, wrapping around and ending on this side over here. So yeah, basically something big in that area, towering with the storage, the point of sale, maybe some items being sold over here, and just some general seating with this rounded canopy feature. So let's get straight into it. And the reason why this is marked grass, because I did it like this, because if we go down, we should end up on a level where we can actually just dig to the side, and we have this little area over here which I will sort out and clean up and all of those type of things. But the general idea is that we do our restocking of the vault and everything down there. Okay, so let's place our vault down like this, and it's going to be a total of 4. So that's 1 2 3 4 5 6. I think it can be 8, but I'll rather have it go deeper down. And then the general idea is that we maybe have our little unpacking system, I think this way around. So we'll have a barrel over there, we'll have unpacking over there, and we'll have the packager that takes out the items over there. We'll grab ourselves a chute for this, and we can add our little stock link on there. So that should be it for that. And for now, I'm just going to use a normal blaze to do this. I will get a proper shopkeep when we reach that point, but for now that should work. And then over here, I'm just going to do, you know what, I'm going to lift this little guy up as well. We're going to put him on a stand, and then we're going to take our stock ticker, we're going to tie it to that, we're going to do that, and now this is officially a storage system. So the next thing I need to do is, there's a little secret door over here that I did. We just need to go in here. Ooh, we're going to have to light this up as well. But I'm going to quickly stock it with just a few items. Yeah, see, it can't go down one more. How big is this above ground? 1 2 3 4 5. I guess it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to stock it real quick, and then we'll see to setting up the physical shop part. Okay, we stocked that with a few things, and what I think I want to do next is I want to keep this area open more for seating, so people can sit and look out over the ocean and whatever's to come, if anything. And then I do think I want to do some form of clutter in this corner, and then we maybe start selling over here. And I'm going to do 3 selling stations. So this will basically be the bacon sandwiches, the BLTs. Then I want to also maybe branch into ham itself, and then the last one will be leather, because those are the items that we get from those little farms, I think, factories. But then I also want to just clutter this area and put a few different things in this area over here, which could be potential future shops. But let's just start with this. So we're going to grab ourselves a tablecloth, and if I understand correctly, we right click here. Yes, it's configuring. We're going to say one of these. Oh, I think we need to do a whole stack like that. So now that's configured, and if we place it down over here, yeah, we've got that. So now we have that, and we can say this goes for a diamond a stack, which I don't think is a bad price. And now we can go back in again. Let's grab another one. And I'm going to do leather, and I'm going to do 2 stacks. And we'll place them over there. And they can be a diamond each. But that's basically it. This is our shop. So we've got those down. I wonder if we don't have other tablecloths. Yeah, nothing that really shouts industrial. Maybe a darker color. But the canopy of this might anyway be red and white again. So I'm not too phased. But this is it. This is basically it. If I grab that and I do this, I get a package of my 2 stacks of leather. And if I click over here, I get my diamond. So we've got the basics of a shop set up in this area, and I think all that's left to do now is just get to decorating it. So I don't know how much of this I'm going to build myself, or if I'm going to use the schematic cannon as well, but I want you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy as we quickly set up this little shop build. And we're open for business. Welcome to our brand new shop, which we still need a name for. I do have 1 or 2, so I might do a little poll over on YouTube or in the Discord community to see if we can find the proper name, but enough about that. So if you head on down the staircase, you enter into the shop area over here where you can pick up some of the goods. So currently we're only stocking BLTs and some leather. And like mentioned, I'm thinking about ham and maybe some of the ham meats. So we've got a whole little almost BLT or bacon inspired or pork inspired shop. But then this floor over here, I'm going to keep it rough. I might just change the edges up a bit. I did consider adding carpets to it, like a proper tent, but I think that the dirt works perfectly fine. So if we head on through over here, then you get to the area where you can actually sit down, look at the view and have your meal, which I think looks pretty cool. And I did not go for a quarter roof and end. So if we hop on up, you'll see we've got the steel structure that we filled in with a little canvas, and we've got these clasps holding onto the whole tent. And in this part, it's just like a jagged little piece. So we've got the clamps again holding on, and we've got a little chain pulling on that side. And this side over here has got your typical wood roofing on top of it. So not what we initially planned, but I do like this a lot more. And if we do decide to maybe quickly put on shaders, you can see that this is quite a nice little build. I do like the way it feels. I like the way it looks in the environment. And that area down there, I do want to change up a bit, because this is almost like a sewer system now, where you can enter, and then in here is our restocking zone. But also I've got my little maintenance door hidden over there. But overall, I think we've got it. We've got something set up, and now we can start making money to fund future expeditions, but also we can finally go on one of these expeditions. So back to the expedition tent we go. So before we go out on our big expedition, I would like to ask you guys to let me know down in the comments, what do you think of this little shop? And also smash that like button, and if you haven't done so, consider subscribing. And for those of you that want to get your hands on some of the schematics like this platform and maybe even the shop behind me, go check out the members tab over on my YouTube page. Okay, so we need a few things. I do have some BLTs, so we should be fine. I'm gonna need some of my books because we need all the reference material on the city and civilization, and then this thing. This is our table. So before we physically head on over to the side to explore and dig up whatever the ancients left behind, we're first going to go on a little bit of a surveying mission. We're going to go out there, we're going to see if we can gather some maps and see what the area looks like, and then when we're back, we can come put it down on our map table, and from there we can plan our proper expedition. So with that knowledge, I'm going to grab Gaston and I'm going to set off in a general direction as described in the books, and then we'll see what awaits at the end. This island is it. This is the location described in all the manuscripts. And thus, what is this?